everyone, welcome to ICSG Virtual Meet Sessions. I am Şule Dayangaç. I am the president of ICSG 2021 organization. Today we have very important guest, Mr. John McDonald. He is the Smart Grid Business Development Leader for GE's Grid Solutions business. John, welcome to ICSG Virtual Meet Sessions. We are so honored to host you here.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, now I would like to give brief information about yourself, please. John McDonald is the Smart Grid Business Development Leader for GE's Grid Solutions business. John has 46 years of experience in the electric utility transmission and distribution industry. John received his BSW and MSW degrees from Purdue University and his MBA degree from the University of California, Berkeley. John is a life fellow of IEEE and SAGRA member, past president of the IEEE Power and Energy Society. He was also vice president for technical activities for the United States National Committee of SAGRA and last chairman of the IEEE PAS Committee. John has published 150 papers and articles and also has 5 books and has 1 US patent. He was one of 11 smart grid experts selected by NIST to prepare the smart grid framework document for the United States of America, and he participated ICSG Istanbul 2015 and 2016 as an honored guest keynote speaker. Okay, now I would like to ask you some personal questions, please.
Okay.
Can you please tell us about your successful career story?
Well, it's been a lot of fun. It's hard to believe it's been 46 years, and it's hard to believe it's been 50 years with IEEE. But I think the most important thing with my career is that in addition to the jobs that I've had in 46 years,
yeah,
I've also made sure to be very, very involved in outside activities like IEEE and CGRAE. And what's very important with the outside activities is to take leadership positions, right? Don't just go and sit in the back row and listen, but take a leadership position and help make the decisions for the organizations and help influence the organizations.
Yes. Okay, you have been in this sector about 50 years, and you must have had some critical issues and decisions to make. Can you please give us the most challenging issue story that you have been involved with?
You know, the most challenging was when I was very young. I was only 27 years old, and it was my very first job. It was actually my second job of my career, and I just started. And the president and founder of the company said, "John, we are only one of 2 selected for $1 million project." And this was in 1979, $1 million project. But we have a meeting next week, very important meeting with a consultant who has like 40 years experience. And you're the one that's our expert now, and you have to show the consultant that we know what we're doing so we can win this job.
Yeah.
This was a technical area I had no experience in. I had to learn this technical area in 1 week. And this was before the internet. Okay, in 1979, we couldn't go online and search for information.
Yeah.
We had to get hard copy papers and books at libraries and things. And I had 1 week, and the whole company was depending on me to do well, so we would win the project. And it was tremendous amount of, for a young person, tremendous challenge.
Yeah,
but
excellent.
I did it. We were successful, and we won the project.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, very good. You also received many awards. Is there any specific one that you consider the most important? I mean, which award is the most important for you? You have many awards. Yeah.
You know, I think the most important is when you qualify as an IEEE fellow, okay, less than 0.1%, less than 0.1% of all IEEE members are allowed to be fellows every year. It's a very small number. The average number of nominations for a person to have a chance to make fellow is 2.4. In other words, very few people make it on the first time that they're nominated. I was fortunate that I was elected fellow, made fellow the very first time I was nominated in 2003, and it was for being one of the pioneers of the field of substation automation. So I think that's the highest level of technical distinction that an electrical engineer can have in the world. Right?
Yeah.
It shows that you're one of the best from a technical point of view. And I cherish that. That's very important to me that I was able to do that in 2003 on the very first nomination.
Yes. Excellent. As far as we know, you have hours also in sports.
Right.
And you are a very busy gentleman. How do you find time for sports, and what is your advice regarding time management for CEOs? Because you are very busy and you have many things for the business, and also you have many hours in business, and also when I look at you, and you also have award in sport, it is unbelievable. It's excellent. How do you find time?
Many of the ribbons behind me on my left are 5K races that I won. Okay, I have a lot of ribbons from medals from 5K races. What I found was we always do the things that are important to us. In other words, I don't like to hear someone tell me, "Hey John, I didn't have time to do this." That's an excuse, That means that it wasn't important to you. If it was important to you, you would find the time to do it. What we need to do is we need to make exercise and sports important to us. It should be part of our life. I was in a period of my life where I was traveling so much. I was in Istanbul 2014, 2015, 2016, 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
I have over 4.5 million miles on Delta. 4.5 million.
Oh,
miles.
really?
Yeah, I'm traveling.
Yeah.
But I said, I need to put a higher priority on my own health. And so 10 years ago, I began working out with a personal trainer who was a professional American football player in the United States. Very, very strong. He's my personal trainer. I lost 25 pounds, and I have a lot more stamina, and I'm 69 years old now, and in the best physical shape of my life after 10 years of working out.
Yeah.
And what I find is, when I exercise, it helps me do my work better. Exercise it clears the mind, it relieves stress, and it gives me confidence. In the morning in boot camp, I maybe lift a weight that's heavier than I've ever lifted, or run faster on a treadmill, and I leave boot camp and I feel great. I feel like I can conquer the world,
Yeah.
So exercise actually helps us with work. Exercise and work go very well together.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. And also, it is, John, when I read your biography, your CV, I couldn't believe, because, you have been in this business about 50 years. It's such a long time, and you have many hours on it, and you also did consultant for Obama, I think, yeah. And you have awards in sport, and also you have been happily married more than 40 years. Yeah, you have excellent family, and what is the secret of it? 40 years marrying, yeah. What is the secret of it?
Especially think about 4.5 million miles on Delta, right? So that means I have 2 children. My daughter will be 40 years old in May, and my son is 36. And I was traveling a lot, right, for many years. I think the secret is including your family in as many things that you're doing is possible. In other words, don't separate your family from work. You know, whenever I would go to an IEEE Power and Energy Society meeting to receive an award, my wife, my kids, and friends of my kids would always come with me. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'd introduce my wife and introduce my kids to all of my friends in the Power and Energy Society at IEEE. And so, and then I've had a home office since 1995. Okay? So my wife knows a lot about my work. She knows a lot about IEEE. In fact, I was on the IEEE Power and Energy Society governing board for 12 years. And she went with me to 48 different board meetings all over the world in 12 years. She knows more about IEEE than most of the members, and she's not an electrical engineer. Okay?
Yeah.
So I think the secret is include your family in what you're doing, so that they feel a part of what you're doing. It's not something separate. It's not a separate part of your life. And do everything together.
Yeah. It is also a big lesson for me as well. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now I would like to ask you some question about sector, please.
Okay.
It is certain that the world has had affected by COVID-19 and seems that it will take some time to get back into the circulation. After COVID-19, what will be changed in the energy sector? What is going to be new as energy trends in this new period of life?
I would say, to me, there's two big impacts of COVID. There's many, but I think two that stand out. One would be that all of us have proven to ourselves we can do more virtually than we could before. Okay?
Yeah.
For GE, I just led sales training for each of our 7 regions. It was supposed to be in person, and with COVID, we couldn't do it in person. I had a 2-day training session for each of our 7 regions. That's 14 days of training, over 600 GE salespeople, and about 40 external participants. And it was very successful, and we did it all virtually. I would have never thought that we could do that. Okay. What I find is electric utilities now are doing more virtually. They're not sending trucks out to the substation, trucks out to the field.
Yeah.
As often because of COVID. And they find that they can still do very, very good work by working at home. Okay. So I think the new normal after COVID, I think we'll see all of us doing more virtually than we did before.
Yeah.
We won't have as many in-person meetings. We will do more things virtually. And I think I think the second thing is, listen, I never thought about this, but an electric utility executive said this a couple months ago. He said, I'm sitting in my office in downtown Houston, Texas, and I'm looking out at all these big downtown office buildings, and they're all, in the middle of the day, they're all dark. There's no lights on. Nobody's working downtown. Nobody's coming to the office anymore. They're working from home. But we invested millions of dollars in making sure that these buildings were reliable. The grid was resilient in the downtown area, because that was the nerve center of activity. Okay. Now with COVID, the nerve center of activity is not downtown, but it's out in the suburbs. He said, will people expect us, the utility, to provide the same resiliency and reliability of the grid, not downtown anymore, but out where people live? Utilities didn't plan on that.
Yeah.
They planned for people to come to work downtown, and that's where they invested the money for reliability. That's going to change. More and more people are going to be working from home. In utilities, we didn't invest like broadband communications as much. Resiliency of the grid in the suburbs. Okay, and that's going to be a big change for electric utilities. There's going to be much more emphasis on suburbs, on rural areas where people live, because people will be working from home.
Yeah. So it's going to be the new market for the utilities.
It's going to be a new area of emphasis. It's going to be a new area that the utilities will have to consider, because the expectations right? The expectations of people will be, I can't go into the office anymore because my company is, reduced the office space or maybe got rid of the office space and they
Mm-hmm.
expect us to work from home. But I need the same amount of reliability at home
Yeah.
that I had downtown at the office, with
Mm-hmm.
my internet, with communications bandwidth,
Yeah.
right? And so the expectations will be there. So communication companies, electric utilities will need to consider that.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's good. And what is your perspective about smart grids and smart cities in this period of life?
Well, I think um, we're we're adding we're adding a lot more intelligence to the grid,
Mm-hmm.
and we're doing it much faster than we ever did before. Technology is changing much faster. Okay,
Yeah.
and that makes things more exciting. That's why someone like me who's 69 and a long career has no plans to retire. Okay,
Yeah.
because
Obviously.
I'm having more fun. Really, I'm having more fun today, and I think to me the biggest part of smart grid and for electric utilities is what we call the journey to digital transformation. It's
Mm-hmm.
the digitization of the grid that's really exciting.
Yeah.
We're hiring data scientists now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Electric utilities and manufacturers, and we're making decisions more now based on data
Yeah.
than ever before. There's an emphasis on data analytics, and I finished. I participated in a book 2 years ago called Big Data Application in Power Systems. Okay, and I wrote
Yeah.
the first chapter of the book, a holistic approach to becoming a data-driven utility. Okay, make your decisions based on data. Have data scientists help you with machine learning, artificial intelligence, and the concept of the digital twin to make better decisions. And this is what a lot of the future is going to be with smart grid is much more emphasis on data and using data scientists to help us with
Mm-hmm.
advanced techniques like artificial intelligence and machine learning. It's very exciting.
Yeah,
We're
it
just
is.
starting that. We're just starting that journey.
Yes, it's exciting. Yeah, I was going to talk about data security actually. You mentioned before me. It is one of the most challenging issues, data security. What is your perspective in security, intrusion in the network and all devices?
Well, something like security is very important. I started my career a long time ago, and for many years, and I've been involved with SCADA systems, supervisory control and data
Mm-hmm.
acquisition and operations in the control center, since the mid 70s, and really until 9/11 in the United States. We didn't concern ourselves that much with security, not as much as we did after 9/11. Now it's number one. Everything that when we develop any new product, part of the product development life cycle is involving cybersecurity from the very beginning. Okay, and then we learned a lot from what happened in Ukraine. Um, where an attack was planned over 9 months, very strategically, and then launched. We learned a lot about the vulnerabilities and how to be better protected. So I think as time goes on, we learn more and we implement more. We know more about what to do in architectures, and we know more what to do with our products, and developing our products. So I think we're becoming smarter now with respect to you know how do we put an architecture together to minimize the vulnerabilities and to do the best job we can with security. But it's a continuing learning cycle because um, the technology is changing quickly, and we have to be very flexible because security is something that changes, and we really have to keep track of it, and we really have to make sure we implement everything we can and everything that we do.
Yeah, it is very important data
Yeah.
security. Yeah. John, our questions are finished. Would you like to give any message to our viewers?
I think, one message would be, I always say we need to have a good balance, all of us, between internal and external focus.
Yeah.
If we're 100% internal focus, that means we come to work every day, we do our work, and we go home. That's 100% internal. But to me, you want a balance between internal and external. To become a better worker, to become more knowledgeable, but I think to have a happier life, you want a balance. You need to get involved in some external organizations like IEEE,
Yeah.
and take leadership positions. The second thing would be always take a leadership position. Okay, you have a choice in your life of being reactive or being proactive. If you're reactive in your life, you never take a leadership position. For instance, when you get on the bus to go somewhere, you sit in the back of the bus, and then the driver decides where the bus is going to go. And your life is a compromise all the time because someone else is making decisions for you. That's not the best life that you can have. The best life is you get on the bus and you drive the bus. You lead the bus. You make the decisions. And if you're making the decisions for the organization or what you're doing, you can optimize your family. You can optimize your personal life. You can optimize your friends and everything you do because you know the direction that things are going.
Yeah.
You're helping to make those decisions. So I said, my two messages would be get involved in outside activities. Your career development is much better that way. And you have leadership positions, you learn more about the technology, and you develop a very good network of friends and contacts. And the second thing is take leadership position. You be the one to make the decisions. Don't let others make the decisions for you, and then you just react. Your life is reacting. It's not proactive, but it's reactive. I prefer to be in the lead with what I do and be in a leadership position.
Yes, you are already. Yes, you are. Really, John, thank you very much for this great interview. As a personally, I also learned many things from you now as well. I would like to thank you for all your supports and also for your supports for ICSG from the beginning. And it was very honored to host you as always. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks again for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Dear guests, we were with Mr. John McDonald, Smart Grid Business Development Leader for GE's Grid Solutions Business. I would like to thank you for joining us and hope to see you in our next session with Professor Matthias Finger, President of Istanbul Center of Regulation, on 18th of February at 3 p.m. Turkish time. Thank you very much. Bye.